Fakakta Comedy Funhouse Network. Oh my, it's Couch Pilots. Welcome all my friends to the show that dares to fly into the unknown territory of awful television pilots of the past. My name is Jason, aka the Black Hat Trick, and across from me is Captain Philip Restassure, your best friend and mine. How are you this evening, Captain?
Sorry,
Did it go down the wrong pipe?
I think.
Uh-oh. We have a compression issue in the cabin?
Yeah. I was in the captain's club,
Right.
which is where we always hang out. There.
Always.
We'll put our clean underwear there.
We went to school for it. We have the license. We have the right to be there.
Right. The thing we put on our neck, and you just beep beep.
Yeah,
It
the little
lets you in,
lanyard.
and it lets you in.
Yeah.
And they have juices. They have my favorite, Old Glory.
Mm-hmm.
They have craft sodas for you.
Love it.
Tons of bottle caps just laying around.
Oh, my God.
You just like pick it
Like
up.
Captain's
and go,
Paradise.
You're like, I got one. I got that one already. Flip it up in the air and just throw it over.
A little bourgeoisie, I would say, yeah.
Strippers. They have plenty of strippers there for us.
I think that's kind of a private thing we don't talk
Oh,
about. But
I mean, there's no strippers there.
so one of the strippers went down the wrong pipe and it got you a little choked up.
Well, I think it was some glitter.
You know, yeah. It's funny. What does that really add anything for you? Do you like the glitter?
No, I much prefer the smell of cotton candy than the glitter. I don't need you to sparkle. You know, the place that I'm going for, if it's sparkling, there's a problem.
Yeah, then we need to apply some sort of topical ointment or perhaps even call it a medical physician immediately.
Right, but if you smell like cotton candy, then you know.
What was that? What was that noise?
So when they slam your face into their breasts.
Yeah.
And actually, basically, it's just your rib cage, and they just grind it. And that's awesome, supposedly.
It is awesome, but I don't want to come back with looking like a clown full of glitter on my face.
Right, because glitter is the herpes of the craft world.
It absolutely is. What an old and bizarre reference, but yes, I totally agree.
Because I go to the strip club.
Yeah.
I get a little bit of glitter on me.
Sure.
I come home, give my wife a kiss goodnight. My cheek brushes her cheek. She has glitter on her. The next day at work, she tells one of the truck drivers, you got to go. Here's their paperwork. Hands them the paperwork. Their hands touch. He gets glitter on him.
Yeah.
He goes home to his wife. His wife's like, "Where have you been?"
I was
Bad news,
handling
man.
papers at work.
No, yeah, that's glitter. Your paperwork doesn't have glitter on it. And then the guy
Guy's screwed.
He's screwed for. He has got to buy her some kind of fucking necklace or something to make up for it.
Just so Jasmine, can buy some Coke later that night.
Right, exactly.
And then it affects all those people.
It's a trickle down effect that I'm glad we don't have in the captain's lodge. But anyway, we were in there. I think you got some of it in my throat. I apologize. I tried to get it done before we pressed go.
No, that's fine. I'm just when I hear you get choked up like that, I worry about your health. You look fine. The colors return to your face.
Well, that's why I'm wearing the aviator's glasses, and it's nighttime.
Yeah.
This is our late flight.
Yep, this is the late one.
But if I took my glasses off, you'd see the darkness in my eyes.
Oh, Blake.
I'm having a lot of problems with my feet. Can't get to the doctor for 3 weeks. I can't get into the doctor for one of my feet, and the other foot I'm just trying to take care of myself.
Now, is it something you have to lance? Is there something that I can help with? What are you doing? Which foot are you? What's wrong with the foot that you're trying to take care of yourself?
That huge open sore that I showed you.
Athlete's foot.
Yeah.
So you scratch it to the point of an open wound.
And no, not so much as it's rubbed on my. It's gotten so bad and it's rubbed while I've been at work. It's rubbed in my boot.
And you work in an environment that you have to be well protected around your tarsals and your metatarsals.
Sure,
is that right?
Definitely. The other one is a serious foot injury that I can't figure out what it is.
But it's serious. You think if it was serious, you would know the origins of it.
But I don't go to the doctor.
Why? Because they're shaman and witchcraft?
No, because I owe all of them so much money, and I'm trying to buy a house. And the more money I rack up that I owe people, the less chance I have of getting.
Do you have health insurance?
Yeah, but it's Obama. Thanks a lot, Obama. I can't afford it even with insurance. No, I don't know where the origin is. It's been a long, outstanding problem. It's just getting worse.
Is it in your heel?
No, it's across the top of my foot, up my heel, up the back of my heel, up into my...
Maybe when we land this thing, I just give you a nice massage. Or maybe, you know what? Maybe Tarmac John can help you. He has got extremely strong grip.
I asked him, and he said, no way, that's not in my job description. I am not touching your feet.
He is right. Technically, it's not in his job description. His job is to be out there with the golden cones, waving us in, waving us right back out.
Right. He's a kind of a prima donna now that he won that award.
Oh, the Tarmac Worker of the Year
He
award?
submitted his paperwork for a raise, and to be honest with you...
He did. Did his mom fill it out?
Huh? Oh, no, his keeper.
The crypt keeper? He has a keeper?
Well, he's got an entourage of people that live at his house. Come to his house and hang out,
Turtle and stuff,
and make
from Entourage.
Oh, I never watched it. No, he just got people that cook for him and stuff, and like do his laundry and stuff. You didn't know that?
He's got I know he's got 3 jobs. I know he makes killer bank. We know we've accumulated a lot of facts about him over these past few months. I didn't realize that he has got people that come over there and service him.
Well, I don't know if it's that kind of...
Oh, no, I'm sorry, not sexually. Not like a Lincoln log in his urethra. I'm talking about doing the dishes.
Sure.
Cleaning up the place, cooking for him. I didn't know he had that.
She's really pretty. I've met her before.
Oh, it's one woman that does it?
Yeah, it's one woman.
And it's not his mom?
Oh, no. No, his mom is really, a lot older.
Sure.
Because he looks super young, but he's not.
Yeah.
No, this girl's name was Olivia.
Mm-hmm.
And she's quite foxy.
Wow, I didn't know this. Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, I digress. No, he turned in the paperwork. He wants, get this, per flight, he wants $1,000 raise per flight.
Wow. There's no way that's happening. Okay.
I thought that, but I had to run it over, with you. But I don't know where we're going to get that.
That is a tremendous increase.
The 7 listeners we have are not providing any donations to where we can afford something like that.
To me, their listenership is all the donations I personally need. But I will say this. We can start negotiating with him on what we think his raise should be. It will definitely not be that. I'd really hate to lose him. But again, you win that award. You're recognized for your excellence. He should get something. He should receive something for his merit.
Right. Well, I worry about him going somewhere else. Now that he's got that award, he's got some leverage. It's like LeBron James.
He's almost identical in every way to LeBron James.
He has the upper hand on us.
Yeah.
And we've got to figure out what we're going to do.
Yeah.
Do we want to try to do this without him, or do we maybe try and get him to meet in the middle?
I think he should get something in terms of a raise, but at the same time, he could be replaced, not by someone who is as good as him.
Sure.
I want to keep him here.
Sure.
But
we can go.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what. When the outro music starts, we can just kind of.
That's a lot to mull over. Yeah. Boy, this is.
Sorry.
No, I mean this.
Did it throw you off?
It's a show. We're doing a podcast about failed television pilots, and obviously the shows themselves are a little rocky, or else they wouldn't be one and done anyway. But now I'm feeling like we're getting off to a rocky start here.
Well, I feel like the bad part of this, and what people don't realize, what the frequent flyers don't realize, and the new listeners don't realize is we don't just come in here, press record, pray that the recorder still works.
Oh, heavens no.
And there's a lot behind the curtain.
Mm-hmm.
There's lots of stuff that people don't see. It's
for sure.
It's our contracts with our sponsors. It's,
right.
By the way, it's minicam.com. Go to minicam.com for all your broadcasting needs.
Right. Thank you, Minicam.
But there's more to it than just watching TV, writing stuff down, and in person record.
It gets a lot deeper than that. I think I've said it before.
And I hate that it's getting in the way of the entertainment part of the show.
I think when people listen here, they do listen for us a little bit and to learn about some of the interpersonal relationships that we have,
sure.
And this is just part of that. So, is it the entertainment that I want to bring to the table? No, but it's the entertainment they're going to get for now.
I just worry it's going to be like a Utopia thing, and
will you let that show go, please?
I cannot let it go. Let it go.
Okay, first of all, don't ever say that again.
Can we do an episode just on Utopia?
What I would like to do for you, Utopia, for those who don't know, is a terrible, terrible reality television show that Blake was in love with. I think they canceled it because it was so awful. Unfortunately, it wasn't after one episode, so we can't talk about it on this show. But that shouldn't stop you, Blake, from writing a pilot episode of Utopia that's not a reality show. You should take this into the dramatic format.
Okay, I'll think about that. I got plenty of time.
So do I.
Ladies and gentlemen, the captains have turned on the fasten seatbelt sign.
That's us.
Yeah, we're the captains of this ship. So the podcast...
I'm the captain of the ship. Pardon me, my finger slipped.
Pretty good.
No, wait. The captain... I don't remember what...
Well, you're holding your tongue. I don't know what that is. Is that some sort of rhyme in school that you're supposed to sing?
Yeah, something to do with holding your tongue and saying it. Saying it sounds like a bunch of cuss words.
I thought it was like, I love you.
I love you.
Or no, olive juice.
I love you.
Well, I love you too.
Aww.
That's what it is. Let's stand back to back real quick. So the podcast is called Gross Out because Captain Philip Restisher and I respectively sit on our own couches and watch one-off television pilots.
How come we never sit together? We should do that one time at least.
No. I'm not going to do that.
Okay.
You have to come over to my house. Do you remember where I live?
Yeah, I remember where you live.
Okay.
We can do this at your house if you want.
No, we're not doing it there. No, you can come over and see. You can see how big my toad is getting, not a metaphor.
Last time I was there, it was huge. Is it even bigger now?
I bought this half log thing, and I built this really cool environment for him. And he just will not come out of there. He is in there all day, day. He does not come out. I don't even see him hopping around anymore. He's just always in there.
Is he stuck?
I don't think so, because he's still eating and getting.
He likes it?
I think he loves it, yeah.
Did he tell you?
Well, and he told me by not coming out of there. I still drop food in there, and the food's gone. And I can see him breathing back there.
I worry about him now.
I wish he'd come out. I have a snail. He's still alive. I've got the beta fish. He's still alive. They're all living.
Dude, you're killing it.
I'm killing it, man. Keeping reptiles and amphibians alive.
That was good, right?
Yeah. Yeah. So today we discuss, from the year of our Lord 2002, the pilot episode of Lost in Oz. How old were you in 2002?
27?
Yeah.
27.
And I was 21.
21. Your golden birthday.
Time to go out? No. What do you think a golden birthday is?
No, I know. I never knew about a golden birthday till just a couple of months ago. Somebody
months ago.
It was explained to me. I was like, "What's a golden birthday?"
I don't remember what I did. I think on my golden, I think it was
19, right?
27 for me.
October 27th.
Mm-hmm. I believe I met Norm Macdonald or something on my golden birthday.
That's cool. That's something.
It was pretty sweet.
That's something to talk about in a podcast.
This is a podcast.
Oh,
anyway, he was really nice. I love Norm Macdonald.
Really, he was nice.
Oh, he was really. He met with everyone who wanted to meet him. It was very odd though. It was very clear he had makeup on. He had real rosy cheeks, like a doll. I don't know if that was because of alcoholism or because of makeup.
Probably a little bit of both.
Right.
He probably has really, really rosy cheeks, and then he tried to cover it up.
Maybe so.
But I'm not going to talk ill of the dead.
He's still alive.
Oh.
I took a picture with him, and then I asked him a couple questions about Saturday Night Live, and he was very nice and more than happy to answer.
Wow,
so,
that's awesome.
It was pretty cool. A good and one of my only celebrity incidences. So, anyway, I was 21. Didn't really mean a lot to me. Not a big drinker. I didn't care about that. I didn't get wasted and not remember.
Yeah. I mean, you hadn't started Coke by then.
Coca-Cola?
Yeah. You weren't an avid Coca-Cola drinker by then.
I dabbled.
Sure.
But I wasn't an addict at that time. What about you? 27 years old?
Yeah, 27 years old. Was just getting off the booze, I think.
Still between marriages?
Yes, still between marriages. It was either the last couple of years of my drinking.
Winding it down,
losing control, unable to function as a human being. But on the way up.
Yeah. Look where you are now.
Years later, making a podcast with my bud.
That's right. Some of the highlights from 2002. Kmart Corp becomes the largest retailer in American history to file for Chapter 11 bankruptcy protection.
Okay, so you're saying to me that in 2002, Kmart filed for bankruptcy.
Yeah.
Okay, it's now 2016, and they're just closing the ones in this area.
Well, we're always behind here. The flyover states are always a little behind what the trends of everyone else are. But I got to tell you, I would go to Kmart when I was younger. I never thought twice about it. Over the past few years, if I ever had to go to a Kmart, it was a profoundly depressing experience.
Oh, yeah, very depressing.
Just how old everything was. And specifically the carpet, just how disgusting the carpets were. Everything was just so depressing. I would think if I had to work in this environment, I'd kill myself.
All the white kind of seemed like a smoky cream color.
Yeah.
Everything is so old. Anything white
Things
over time turns.
Yes. Ugh. And those old concession stand counters that were not kept up.
The ices that that you don't know how long that mix had been.
Oh, my God.
We just went there the other day because they had like 60% off.
I know you hate that.
It pisses me off.
They take normal prices.
Jack them up.
Yeah.
And then say that they're 60% off.
Yeah.
But I got some pads of note paper.
Nice.
Drawing paper. And got the kid some shoes that he'll wreck in 3 weeks. But
one pair of shoes, how much did that cost?
$12. That's not bad.
It's all right. And which one is this?
Eli.
No, which Kmart?
Pekin.
Okay, I didn't realize they had one. Also in that year, 2 snipers in Washington, D.C. killed 10 people and injured 3 more, spreading panic and fear. Do you remember that? The D.C. sniper?
Yeah, what?
They caught him.
It seems like every time we do a show, there's somebody getting shot, a plane going into something.
That's just the society we've created for ourselves here in America. The series of murders, mass shootings.
Murder was the case that they gave me.
Great song. Unfortunately, that came out about 10 years before this, so we can't talk about it. I remember that and I was captivated by that story. It turns out it was like a Muslim, like a black Muslim man, right, and his son.
Right.
And one of them would sit in the back of like their old Cadillac or something, or an old
the trunk
Chevy, one of those big boats, those big old Chevy boat cars, and they'd sit in the trunk, right, and they'd poke the gun through the keyhole that they knocked out in the trunk, and then they'd shoot people at gas stations.
For what?
I don't know. For Allah, maybe? I honestly don't know. But it was so like
people were in fear.
I could be a serial killer.
Serial killer.
It's because when you make it random. Because it's most of the time, if someone's murdered, the person who was murdered, they knew the person who killed them.
Right, there was a reason.
Right, but if it's random, then you can get away with it for a while, so you start dropping clues.
Right, blues clues.
I'd hate to drop a blues clue.
Oh, man. I did before you guys came over.
You have to go to Kmart and get a handy-dandy notepad to fill it out, right?
Exactly.
And then if you ran out of toilet paper, then you can wipe up your blues clues. I thought that's what you were going for there.
Yeah. I let it go. I threw it out there and let it go. I apologize.
I'm sorry.
No. Why are you sorry?
That was to me. That was a very interesting thing. As horrible as it was, just people deciding to snipe people.
Yeah, just for the sake of it.
It's like the sport. It's so bizarre. Anyway, the last one I got here is Elizabeth Smart, kidnapped from her family's Salt Lake City home. You remember that? Elizabeth Smart? To me, there's people kidnapped every day. What was so great about Elizabeth Smart that we had to... I'll never understand this.
Was her parents rich?
They had to have been.
Why else would you kidnap somebody?
Well, why else would it be on the news, too? You know what I'm saying? Like, out of all the kidnappings...
Because there's kidnappings every day.
Yeah, why do we focus on this one person?
I don't remember.
I'm not to say there wasn't a horrible thing, and I hope she was okay, which she was. They found her alive the next year. Do you remember that?
Oh, wow. A year later? Oh, yeah, I do remember that, I think. She was at the house, like, not that far.
I think they hired a weirdo to, like, help out with yard stuff, and then weirdo kidnapped her with his, like, brainwashed concubine, and then the 3 of them lived in some kind of weird seclusion and had robes on. They'd walk around, and someone identified her, and they pulled her out of this situation.
Craziness.
To me, I got to wonder, why didn't she just run away? When they're out in public like that, why didn't she just grab someone and say, hey?
They mess with your mind when they do that, man.
I can't even imagine.
They mentally torment you and make it seem like it's in your best interest to stay with me.
I think it's in our best
Spooky.
interest that we talk about why we chose Lost in Oz today.
Definitely. Let's turn this around. Why did we choose it?
Oh, boy. This is what a treat for me.
Oh, you were asking me. There's 3 criteria and a phantom. The phantom is it was in the aughts.
Right.
Which is 2000 to 2010?
2009.
9? Okay, that's the aughts. Yeah. There's a 0 in front of it. The 3 main, the staple of our show.
Right.
It was free. We could find it. And it was a failed pilot. Only 1 episode was made.
Absolutely. Those are the requirements. If you are a show and even one of those requirements don't describe what you did, you're gone. You're out of here, mister. I like that.
Yeah, we should do that more often. Oh, wow. That is amazing.
I just broke my finger doing that. I'm going to tough out the rest of the show.
I would think so. That was amazing.
That really... Okay.
Do we need to push pause?
I just need a popsicle stick and some tape.
And some moss.
Give me some...
Because we were watching Alaskan Bush People, and the dad hurt himself, and they made a splint for him using twigs and moss.
Because they hate him?
And they all ripped a part of their shirt to make the...
Sure.
That fucking show is so stupid.
That sounds awful. Where can you find Lost in Oz? You can find the entire episode by subscribing to Couch Pilots in iTunes or your favorite podcast app of choice, and then click on one of our classically blue links in your show notes, or go to YouTube and search Lost in Oz Pilot. It's there. You'll find it. You can open up a browser. You can type in YouTube. You can do all that stuff. Sure, you'll find it, or you can go right to our show notes.
Right,
subscribe to the show.
Ours is going to be the safest link. It's the best link, best quality. We don't just find the first one we find.
Yeah,
we find one, make sure it's as best as we can be. If it's
polished and pristine.
If it's not, we'll go look around some more. If that's the one we got to use, but it's not because we didn't look around.
You can be damn sure, even if it's not the best thing out there. I mean, we're always going to find the best one quality-wise, but even if the one that we find is not great quality and it's the only one available, we can sure as hell promise you it's going to be a safe link.
Sure, definitely. Safety
that is our
first.
promise.
It's like we're putting the condom over your computer.
Absolutely. What a great metaphor that is. Let's take off.
Flight attendants, prepare for takeoff, please.
All right. DSJU.
Look at him, too. He's not even, like, the effort's not in it. He's barely waving those cones.
He's getting kind of very prima donna.
He's getting a little
diva.
cocky. Yeah.
We might have to have a talk with him. God, I hate doing it.
I hate to call him on the phone again, but we might have to call him at the end of the episode. Maybe not. I don't know.
We'll see.
Oh, boy. Summary of the pilot. New take on the fictional world of Oz is created by author L. Frank Baum, where a 20-something woman who leads a revolt against the powers that be in a mythical otherworld.
Take me away to another world. That's a very good summary. It's not as detailed as I would want, but it gets the bang for the buck.
That's enough to wet my whistle.
Oh, that's what's important.
Interesting facts. Thank God no one's here to call in today to sully these facts with their...
Right, I took the phone off the hook.
Thank you very much.
Because
The series was planned to start September 1st, 2002 as an original sequel to The Wizard of Oz, inspired by the books of L. Frank Baum. The pilot was made, but not released to television.
Amazing.
So what would you call one of our episodes, or one of these pilots that was not released to television?
It's a gold nugget.
It's a gold nugget. It's one of our, precious gems.
We are rocking and rolling on these golden nuggets. We've had a lot of them. People, because once in a while somebody gets cute and goes, "Oh, I remember that." No, you don't.
I saw that one was first on. The hell you did?
You never did. You've never heard of it before.
Liar.
The only thing of this you know about is the word Oz.
That's right. And you're going to think, I saw anything related to Oz that you did not see this on TV.
Nope.
Didn't even make it to air.
Nope.
After the pilot was filmed, a significant amount of time passed before the decision was made to film a second episode. However, by then, the lead actress, Melissa George's contract had lapsed, and as she had just moved to America, she did not want to move back to her homeland of Australia to shoot it. Ultimately, a second episode was never shot, and the show was never picked up.
Why would they shoot a second episode if they couldn't get the first one aired?
I don't know the answer. I think a lot of times people think there's a good idea out there. They make a show, and then that's the gamble, right? That's the gambit, is that you don't know if it's going to be picked up at all. But yeah, why wait so long for a second one?
It's crazy.
Written by David Hayter, screenwriter of the first two X-Men films, and directed by Mick Garris. I'm a video game guy, and not so much anymore. I've honestly, I put down the controller. David Hayter, in my mind, when I see that name, I immediately think the voice.
Bill.
I think of Bill Hader immediately.
Right?
From SNL.
They're related.
Well, no.
Oh.
Hader is Hader, I think, and this guy is Hayter.
Oh.
Do you ever play the Metal Gear Solid games?
Nope. Never played it.
Classic games for the PS2?
Nope.
PS1 and beyond. Anyway, he was the voice of the main character. He had a very specific voice, and he's gone on to write a lot of things too, so... Thanks, David Hayter.
Thanks, David Hayter, with a Y.
For all your voice work. Many wrongly assume that Tim Burton was involved with this production because he was set to make a movie called Lost in Oz in 2000, but the project was shelved before it was filmed.
So many ideas and so much money and so much time wasted.
There's a lot of Oz stuff out there.
Oh, yeah. When I was going to do the show art for this... Mm-hmm. Even just putting Lost in Oz, there was tons of stuff. The subject of Oz and the Wizard of Oz it's kind of like Star Wars. You could just you could just build on it and build on it and build it.
Keep digging in.
And
there's novels about it, like other books. There's comic books. There's video games. There's kind of dark twists on it out there. There was a show, I believe it was in the early 80s or mid 80s, where there's another, like a Return to Oz movie. It's a very kind of dark and bizarre film. A lot of stuff out there. And I don't know why there were two things called Lost in Oz within a 2-year period, but neither of them worked out, obviously.
Lost in the midst of TV pilots.
Right. Agreed. Mia Sara returned to Oz in the 2011 miniseries production, The Witches of Oz.
How do they get away with making these? Don't they have to have some kind of copyrights or something? Or is it
I'm sure the
public
Baum
domain?
Family, no, I doubt it's public domain. I'm sure the Baum family makes a lot of money. Maybe Disney owns it. I honestly don't know.
They dropped a bomb on me.
The lip balm? Frank, do you think L in Frank Baum, that stands for lip? Lip Frank Baum?
That one was so bad. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry.
I'm so excited to talk about this, and I'm just dropping bombs like Hiroshima.
Well, you're not done yet. Let's stop screwing around then and break down this.
All right, break it down for me, fellas. Boom,
break it
boom,
down.
Boom, boom.
Okay. So let's see here.
Breaking down the pilot. Is that what we're doing already?
Yeah, we're breaking it down. Let's get into it. It opens with a hesitant Alex in a bridal shop,
looking beautiful, radiant, and you know, when you're getting married, when they're trying on dresses, that's a huge deal. That's almost more important than the actual wedding itself.
It truly is. This is what little girl thinks of from the time they're very small. Oh, my wedding day! Right. Their whole life essentially is building to that point.
Sure, that's what we've been programmed as a society to teach young little girls. Is you got to grow up, get married, have kids, and have a white picket fence.
I love you so much. The fact that you say that girls are programmed to do it, I love that you just said that.
Well,
thank you. I love
you, man.
I love you.
I love you.
I don't David Hater you. I David Lover you. Oh, you want to kiss me? Mm-hmm. I'll give you a little something. Oh, shit! Broke my finger.
It's so fucking amazing. It reminds me of a girl I dated.
Oh boy, that's another show entirely. So they're in the bridal shop, and she's getting dressed, and she's having mixed feelings. Her name is Alex Wilder, and she's in there with her friend and her mom. Mm-hmm. And the friend says, "I got to leave" or something. She acts weird because she's like, "I'm starting to have second thoughts about this marriage." And the mom holds her hand, and she kind of backs away, saying, "You got to do this on your own." It gets real weird.
Yeah, and then like in the background, I don't know if you know the song that was in the background. The only thing I can remember this song, I don't remember who it was, and I don't do any pre-op for this.
No pre-op, whatever.
Not at all.
Whatsoever.
But it was like from the Vanilla Sky soundtrack. And I want to say like Radiohead, but is it too early for Radiohead?
No, Radiohead was around from the early to mid 90s with the album The Bends, I believe.
It might be Radiohead because it's like... Boy,
I would love
to... I'm
look it up.
I'm diving in.
I'm not a huge Radiohead guy, but I do like them. And I have some of their stuff. I do like Radiohead, but I'm not encyclopedic when it comes to them. And that's funny that you say that because Vanilla Sky... I'm sure I get a lot of crap for this, but one of my favorite movies. I love Vanilla Sky.
I have it on DVD somewhere.
So do I. Great flick.
Yeah, but it was you would remember that song. Let's see, there was REM. That wasn't Peter Gabriel. No.
See, I didn't pick up some of these. The only one I really picked up and wrote down was Incubus. That's the only one I wrote down. Anyway, you look it up, and yeah, I wrote down it gets very serious during this bridal shop thing. It gets real. It seems like unnecessarily serious, and then it reveals that it was all a dream. She gets like a phone call, and she's woken up by like her boss saying, "Hey, are you going to be? You're my personal assistant. I need you. You're in Tucson or Tulsa or something, right? I can't remember where they were, but they're like, you need to come over to Wichita,
right?
So it's about a 2-hour drive. I need you over here." And the whole time, then the Incubus song starts up. What was the song that you were thinking of earlier?
I think I don't want to push this button here, but Everything in Its Right Place by Radiohead. Now, I just wonder if it's the right song.
Ultimately,
I don't have this hooked up to the proper stuff, but we can see here in just a minute.
You know, this kind of
Yep.
See, good. That honestly, good.
Yep.
Good for you.
Radiohead. I knew it was Radiohead.
I don't recognize this song.
Look up Radiohead everything in its right place.
To all our listeners, because surely I will not do it. But honestly, that's a good pull. I did not catch that at all.
Pulled it.
High five it. So she wakes up, and she looks over, and she sees her dog, Jack, over in the corner. And I thought, okay, there's your new Toto. But it's not. We never see Jack again.
Yeah, she's like, Jack, you want to go on an adventure? I'm like, this is perfect. This is Oz and Dorothy. Everything's going Toto, and everything's going back.
You're building up. Nope.
Dog looks at her, lays his head back down, like, fuck you.
Yeah, screw off. I'm not going into a tornado.
Right. I'm staying right here in my cozy bed. And there was another song came on. Or was it the Incubus song?
It was the Incubus song, and it plays oddly through this whole scene.
Right. You know what I wrote down? Hoobastank song.
I'm thinking
Often and open eyes.
I'm thinking,
I thought it was Hoobastank.
I think it virtually the same band, but I think it was Incubus. So they're playing, and she leaves her mom's home. She's going to work, and in a very kind of noted "I love you." There's kind of a pause and an eye connection. "I love you." So
we say it every time when we get off the plane. We're going our separate ways. We look each other in the eye and say "I love you" because it could be the last time we see each other.
That's right. And usually, like you said, it's when we're done recording and we're done with our flight. But maybe just for our listeners, we should do it so they know we're honest and we know we're true and we genuinely mean it.
Let's do a little, because we want people to also go to our YouTube page.
Sure.
And so we do all the videos for these shows. Let's both look at the camera and say it, because then it looks like we're looking at each other and we're also looking at the viewer, and let's say it.
Okay.
Together, okay? 1,
2,
3.
I love you.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. 3 out of 10. All right, so she says, I love you. It's a 2-hour drive to Wichita. And she turns on the radio, and it says a storm is brewing.
Yep. Tornado warning on the radio. And all of a sudden, you notice, at first I thought it was the copy of the whatever we were watching.
Yeah.
But, part of it's in color and part of it's in black and white. The car is red, but everything around her is black and white.
Yep.
And this is where it starts to mess with your head because she's looking out the window and it's, color.
Yeah.
But then she looks over to the side and sees a tornado.
Yeah, she's driving, and then a tire hits out of nowhere, and you're looking at everything that you can see so far, and it doesn't look like there's bad weather. And then you look to the side, and there is the biggest tornado you've ever seen in your life.
Dark as could be.
And she didn't even see it up to that point.
Nope.
It takes out a farmhouse, and all of a sudden, like it has eyes, it sees her, and it starts to make a beeline for the country road that she's on. And then it turns another 90 degrees and starts following her on the road.
Right. And she goes through cornfields.
Yep.
She's just driving through a cornfield. You can't see when you're driving through a cornfield.
She's terrified at this point. She says, this tornado is hot on my butt. I got to get out of here.
And she crashes the car.
Yep.
Gets out. Things are, electric poles are flopping down
Barely
on her.
misses her.
Just missing her. She goes into this barn where there's a horse.
There's a horse there? And
Of course.
Of course there's a horse. Of course. And there's a bunch of equipment. Just dangerous equipment swaying back and forth. Yeah, things falling. And she's in there holding on for dear life.
And then the roof starts to pop. The wood pops. And guess what? Boom.
The barn comes undone. Fade to black. Boom. The classic song from the Wizard of Oz that we all know.
Somewhere.
You
want to sing together?
I don't know all the words, so I'm going to start with what I know, and then I can,
Okay.
Somewhere over the rainbow, something,
you.
Oh, my God!
4 out of 10.
Oh, the rule of 3 is broken. So, sorry. So the rainbow song plays, and she awakens unharmed to a calm and beautiful day.
She opens the door,
Yeah.
and it's all colors. The barn and everything was black and white,
It's all flat plains, and she comes out, and there's kind of like a mountainous, there's a waterfall, these beautiful rolling hills, and then off to the right, she sees these 4 knights on horses barreling towards her, so she climbs on the horse from there, and she takes off down the road.
Yeah, it's like the 4 horsemen were coming after her.
Right, and they follow her. They see her on that horse, and they follow her. She goes into the woods. She gets bucked off the horse, and she's hiding behind a log, kind of semi-exposed, and then she sees like a hooded figure.
Yeah, the hooded figure just is like over in this corner, and all of a sudden he the hooded figure jumps on her.
Yeah.
And I was like, now this is getting good. This is my kind of pilot.
I am on board now.
The dog wasn't going with him. Maybe this guy is going to get some poontang.
And it's all kind of dark and brown in the forest, and he's wearing a dark brown hood, so he kind of is on top of her and kind of covers her and says, hey, be quiet.
Yeah, I'll save you.
So the knights come by, and then they take a look around, and then they leave.
The end.
The end. And it turns out the hooded figure is a hot dude.
Oh, yeah, he's a good-looking hot dude. Perfect eyebrows, chiseled face, young, handsome. Love interest?
Oh, definitely. Definitely.
So?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
There's and then he's like moving his cape around a little bit, the hooded cape, and she sees an American flag inside.
Yeah, because she's got a stick. She's like trying to beat his ass all of a sudden. Like she's freaked out. She doesn't know who he is.
Oh yeah, she beats him about the head a little bit.
Oh yeah, kicks him in the gonads.
Oh boy, that's the weak spot for me. I don't know about you.
Oh, when a girl kicks me in the gonads, I know that she doesn't want to go to second base.
Oh boy, so
that's a girl telling me no.
Yeah, I agree.
But until she kicks me in the nuts, it's all yes, green light.
That's the only no that you know. So he says, she's like, are you an American? And he's surprised. He's like, how do you know about America? And he explains that he got there kind of similarly to her. He was like shot down, right?
Right.
And what is his name?
I don't have it.
I have Jansen as his last name, but I thought he said Guilt.
I'm
that
not
can't
sure.
be right.
I don't know. It was going so fast. Me and you were both took thousands of pages of notes. I couldn't figure out what it is, but come to find out, he was a pilot from 1943, which is obviously World War III.
Yep. So he was fighting the Germans, and he got shot down, and that's how he got transported to this
shot
other
down.
one.
357 ain't gonna change my way of living. Just can't hear me, so I'm headed back down. Well, I've been shot down. 357 ain't gonna change this way of living. Just can't hear me, so I'm headed down. 357 string band.
You're welcome. Free plug.
They're not together anymore.
Oh, whoa. So he's from 1942. She's from 2002. She says that out loud. So there's some weird time warp discrepancy.
And he thinks it's 1943. He doesn't understand.
He's not met anyone else from the outside world like her, so he just thinks whatever time cycle he was in was the current one. Anyway, so they're on these horses and they're riding out of the woods together, and they talk about the movie Wizard of Oz. So that movie exists within their universe.
The realm, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he'd never seen the movie.
It had just come out when he was overseas.
Right, but she was talking all the details about the movie and stuff, and he's like, I heard about it, but I never saw it.
And we will find that the residents of Oz don't know that as a movie, but as kind of a historical lore within the land.
As they're part of their history.
Yep. So the horses are as they're galloping along, they're spooked. The horses are spooked, and the two end up being caught by the four knights, and while they're standing on top of this lake city, and then they go down this kind of water tunnel under the lake to this palace.
This is the first scene where you got to pay attention because you're gonna get lost. It's very detailed. At first, it seemed like they were walking along. They were riding their horses on water.
Yep.
And then they looked down in the shimmeringness, and they saw a town.
They're like, yeah, that's a city down there, right?
Yeah.
Like,
And then the next thing you know, they're walking down through a tube of water.
Yep, those knights catch up with them. There's nothing they can do. They're stuck. They go down there, and they it's at this time that, and I'm going to have to call him this name from now on because Guilt cannot be his name, but he reveals that his code name in the army or whatever, or his whatever name is Scarecrow. Did you catch that?
Oh, no, I didn't.
So he is the Scarecrow.
Ah, okay. I got it. All right.
And they go down the tunnel, and they meet the Good Witch of the South. I believe her name was... Actually, I don't know what it is.
Valority?
That might be the case.
Valority?
And then she invites him into her underwater city, and she has a massive tiger.
Oh, a huge tiger. And she was the Good Witch of the South.
Okay.
Which I found ironic because she was black.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it.
Yeah, she's got a huge tiger. I don't really know what the tiger is there for.
Does never really revealed.
He's like 100 times bigger than any tiger I've ever seen.
The size of like a like one of those buses that musicians travel in.
Oh, like a tour bus?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Or like the $1 bus. You know, the $1 megabus?
I don't think I know that.
Oh, yeah, they have a $1 megabus. Megabus.com.
Well, the size of that, I would say then.
Yeah, definitely.
Massive.
It's like a triple decker. You never seen one of those?
No, the dollar bus? No,
Yeah.
never seen it.
Don't know why there's a huge tiger. He's all chained up. He's not really aggressive.
You see him again later?
Yeah.
Doesn't do anything.
No,
he just hangs out.
He's chilling like a villain.
The Good Witch of the South explains the imbalance of Oz and that she needs Alex to save like a warrior princess that was captured by the Witch of the West.
Right, and this explanation that she gives, I completely understand what they're doing.
Yeah.
They're trying to catch you up on everything that's happened in Oz post the movie Wizard of Oz.
Right.
But it becomes really confusing. They show on the screen this
kind of a map of Oz, which looks almost like a compass or a round circle.
Yeah, and then she's like explaining on the good witches, bad witches, and the wizard and everything, and it's just it gets very confusing. It's very complicated, but that's how quickly we got to explain the story to get her on her quest.
Yep. You got the map of the world. You got north, south, east, and west, and in the middle, I think you have where the wizard
was. Yeah,
yeah. So they're in the south, and they need to head west to the witch's palace to save this.
Did you just go like this?
I did. I think I did do the circle with the finger in it to like show coitus.
Sure. So definitely watch our YouTube video. You're going to miss out on a lot.
Little incentive. So
if you want to see Jason stick his finger through,
people are asking for it. Alex, she says, "Okay, you go do this, and I'll send you home. Here is a glass jar with a tornado in it, and if you hold this jar and you think about your location, the tornado will take you there. And hey, Scarecrow, here's a gun."
Right, and they had trained a princess named Ozmus. To me, let's be a little bit more creative. What is Miss?
Yeah, why do we
Ozmus.
have to put the word Oz in everything?
Right,
We get it.
We get it. We know what's going on. So the Good Witch says, "Save her, bring her back, use this tornado."
You can go home.
But you can only use it once.
To me, it's like, if I don't need to save her to use the tornado, why don't I just do it right now while I'm holding it? Or why don't I just give you the glass jar in fear that I will break it in my journey?
Right, because I'm going to go through the woods and fight wicked witches. You're giving me a precious glass jar that has a tornado in it.
And she doesn't have 30 on the shelf. This is a one-and-done situation.
Doesn't even have and Alex doesn't have a backpack.
It's just like a little velvet bag that would be easily crushed.
Yeah, it's like a Crown Royal
exactly
bag.
Yep, that's exactly what it's like.
But you're right. Scarecrow's like, hey, why don't we just
do
this
right now?
We don't have to save this.
We're people of honor. We're going to help out.
Yeah, let's do it.
So they set off on their journey with the four knights, and Alex sees a version of her old friend Brianna from the bridal shop, and her name I think is Selena. But did they call her the bench worker?
The bench worker, hot, sexy. This really caught my attention. I was like, new favorite character, bench worker.
Now you recognize her as being the friend from the beginning.
Yes, did.
She was hotter as the friend in the bridal shop than whatever predator style geisha thing she had going.
Because that's what it was.
Yeah,
I was into the kind of the geisha kind of look, but like a gothic geisha girl. If you can imagine a gothic geisha girl,
like a sci-fi almost too, because she had like these kind of like predator braids going on. Yeah,
I
for
was
sure.
into it. Molly was sitting right next to me.
So the bench worker, and it was Selena though, right?
Yep,
That's
Selena
easier
Gomez.
to say. Oh, nice. She then leads. Selena leads them to a door of the labyrinth, and they must answer 3 riddles because once the Scarecrow touched the entrance of it, he started turning into stone. I don't know about you, but I hate riddles.
Oh,
I hate riddles.
I don't. I've never been good at them.
No.
There's a game on Comedy Bang Bang called Riddle Me This.
Right.
I couldn't even win that one, and that one's all made up.
It's all made up on the spot. I am not a riddle guy. I don't like them. I think they stink, and I am. But thank God, because what would the show be without the Scarecrow? They needed to save him. You know, they needed to get it. And did they go into the labyrinth? I don't even remember.
Yes, they eventually answer the 3 riddles, and actually the bench worker answers 2 of the 3. The first 2,
she's really helped out.
She's like boom, boom, because at first Alex and the Scarecrow weren't really sure if this was a good person or a bad person.
Yeah,
Scarecrow was kind of. Like I was like, what are you, a homosexual? Of course you'd want both of these girls in your little posse. You know what I mean? Like he's like bad mouthing her and stuff, and she's like, just...
Honestly, I was worried of her for a long time.
Really?
I didn't know.
You thought she was going to be a bad guy?
I
completely gave myself to her, and all of my my hopes and dreams, and my safety. I gave to her.
What would happen if she had turned out to be bad? Would that have totally crushed you?
It would have just proven that my life choices with most women have been bad. I thought with my penis instead of my brain.
Right. Night falls, and then now they're having a heartfelt conversation around the campfire.
Yeah, they're on the trail of the Wicked Witch of the West.
Yeah.
Her name is Morissa?
I don't know.
I'm usually really good with the names.
You usually are, yeah.
They go camping around the campfire. They're talking, and you hear things out in the woods. I thought it was flying monkeys. The Wicked Witches.
I thought it was at first, but before they are attacked, Selena says, once one witch is gone, they're replaced by someone else.
Right.
So to me, I think, if you got a bad witch, just imprison her somewhere.
Right.
Freeze her, do something to preserve her.
Sure.
Make
Put her in
immobile.
jam.
Yeah, put her in a jam. Preserve her in a jam, yeah. Spread her over a nice toasted
Croissant.
peanut butter. Yeah, absolutely on a croissant. But you're right, then they are attacked by wheels.
Flying wheels with spikes.
Is that what happened?
Yeah. They had mentioned the flying monkeys prior to that.
They have.
And it looked like shadows were flying monkeys in the woods.
Yeah.
But then there were these discs. I think they needed to be flying monkeys.
I think they were flying monkeys, and then they said, we got a budget problem here.
We can't afford to make these flying monkeys, so we'll just make it sound like the monkeys are throwing these things, maybe.
And maybe that's what it was, because you would see shadows, like you said, of things moving around, which again, I thought, oh, here come the monkeys.
Yeah,
Great.
Hey, we're the monkeys.
People say we're flying around.
People say we're flying around. We work for the Wicked Witch of the West.
To bring anybody down.
They got a new album coming out.
Well, Davy Jones is dead.
The two of them. Mickey Dolenz and the
Peter, Mickey.
The blonde guy.
I don't know.
They made a new record.
I used to watch that show on Nickelodeon when I was little.
It's a good show.
It is not a good show.
Come
That
on.
show sucks.
Come on. You're horrible.
All right. I am horrible. Thank you very much. The Scarecrow steals Alex's bottle tornado after the conflict with the spiked wheels is over.
Right.
They're going to sleep, and he reaches into her satchel.
He's like, "Fuck this! I'm getting out of here.
Yeah,
I'm taking this tornado and I'm going home."
And I think he locks eyes with Selena for a second, and then he stops and thinks, and he's like, "You know what?
Honor thy mother."
Honor thy mother, and he puts it back into her. Or not into her.
That would have been awesome.
He inserts the jar.
He inserts this vase with a tornado into Alex's pussy.
Oh, Jesus. Well, he originally takes
Grandma, can't listen to this one either.
He originally takes it out of her bag and it's like, I'll say hi to your grandmother for you or something like that because it was way back in time.
Sure.
Anyway, so he puts it back, but she catches him and she thinks he's stealing it, which essentially he did originally do
right.
that. And so she's kind of like, hey, you're a real piece of jerk. You're junk action. I hate your guts. And
Peckerhead.
Oh, thank you. Then it switches over to the Wicked Witch of the West, who is the character of Alex's mother.
Right.
And she is hot. She is old and hot.
Buxom blonde. Dirty blonde.
How old would you say this woman is? Mid-40s?
Mid-40s. Half naked. Basically.
Deep V. She's got a deep V.
She has some kind of apparatously dressed thing with just and she had funky little eye things.
MILF action.
Definitely. Guess what?
Chicken butt?
MILF bump.
Oh, I didn't realize that was a thing.
That's a new thing. MILF bump.
Well, the next day, because it's just they kind of flash towards her, and she's kind of waving her arms around, doing something, and then they switch back to them. They say the next day, they reach the western border, and the knights kind of stop at the border, and then they collapse because the extent of the southern witch's magic stops at that border.
And it was like a metal plate on the ground all the way for
very clear.
One side colorful green, other side black, gray, no trees,
like
no
burnt
nothing,
wasteland.
just a burnt wasteland.
Yep. So they go walking for a while. They go kind of through like this smoky, ashy set of woods, and like, hey, there's Dorothy Gale's house.
Yeah, and this was really cool. To me, this was kind of neat.
This is the intersection of the two stories.
Sure, right, exactly. And it's this is where Dorothy lived when she, at the end of Oz.
Well, I think it was the house that fell from the tornado.
Right, but it was also and it said that her alliance with the Munchkins and stuff. So it didn't oversaturate. Overmix it to where you're like, okay, you're pandering to us.
Yeah.
It was just enough little details spread out, like little sprinkles on a donut.
Or a little glitter on a horse chest. So that they see the
Grandma
burnt house.
can't listen to this one.
Sorry, Gam. And then they see dead Munchkin bones. And
that was cool.
It was kind of cool. And then she gets on the ground and she kind of wipes the ground off and she reveals the Yellow Brick Road.
Right, just like in the movie, the first enters,
how it
starts,
the
swirl.
Yeah.
Yep.
The Scarecrow doesn't know what's going on. Selena has maybe an inkling of what's going on because she knows the lore of the land, but the only reason that Alex knows is because she's familiar with the movie,
Right.
the classic movie.
She wipes off the dirt, and she's like, "Let's get this done."
To me, this doesn't make sense because they never really talk. They never say this is the Yellow Brick Road. They don't skip down it. They don't say where they're going. The Yellow Brick Road in the original movie leads to Oz, which, from what we're saying, would be the center of the map, the center of that land.
Right.
But they're not going there, right? They're going to the Wicked Witch of the West, so they're heading.
But she's taken over that area, though. That's the thing. She's burned all that down. She's taken over that center piece.
Okay, so they do follow the Yellow Brick Road, is what you're saying, and they do go. I thought they were going to the labyrinth where she lived on the western
Right, but
side.
she built that. She took over this part of the land, burned everything down, and she made this labyrinth with her magic.
So the Yellow Brick Road leads to the city of Oz, and that's where they're going?
Yeah.
Okay, I was thoroughly confused there. Anyway, Alex sees the beginning of the Yellow Brick Road, and then they arrive at the labyrinth.
And what's cool about the labyrinth, I don't know if you noticed it when they kind of show a picture of it, or when they start showing it, it has the monkey face.
Yeah, at the
That's
top
cool.
of it was kind of cool. I was like, finally, we're going to see some winged monkeys. We never see them.
We never see them. That's going to be reflected in my score.
Without a doubt. My mother, when she was young, was terrified of those monkeys.
Really?
Watching the original Wizard of Oz, she was horrified.
Huh.
That was that was scary filmmaking to her back then.
Sure.
Laughable by today's
Do you remember how
standards.
they said that the urban legend about the midget who hung himself and you can see him in
Yeah.
it? You think that's real, or do you think this is bullshit?
I think it's BS.
Yeah.
I think it's probably some prop or something, and someone wanted to build.
Yeah,
a
kind of like the
story or mythology.
penises and all the Disney.
That is true. That is true.
Oh.
That is true. Yeah, I spent a whole. I remember watching The Little Mermaid and having an erect penis the whole time, and then pointing out, like, I would lay down so my penis was in the line sight of the show, and I would match up every time a penis was on screen based on my erection.
Okay, makes sense.
30 times.
Wow.
Yeah, heavy on dicks. The Wicked Witch looks at her crystal ball, and then she's got an assistant there named Jeffrey, who's there for 30 seconds and never seen or spoken
Never
of
seen
again.
or spoke of again. And she's like, he's like, maybe you shouldn't go, and she's like, fuck you, I'll go where I want to go.
Fuck you, Jeffrey.
So Ozma has been captive by the Wicked Witch.
Yep.
And she's made her into a little girl so she can't use her powers.
Yeah, they're in the labyrinth. They're finding it strangely easy to get to the center where they're trying to go to protect this girl, and they're saying the Wicked Witch can change the labyrinth at will.
Right, and it's harder to get out than it is to get in.
Yeah, so they're going towards this room, and
Plenty of dates like that.
I always find it harder to get in rather than get out.
Mine's the opposite.
Really, you find it very easy to get in.
Oh, easy to get in. I can talk any girl into doing
Well,
anything.
I have to talk to you after the show.
Sure.
First of all, let me do this. I love you.
I love you too, buddy. You make me warm and fuzzy.
They get to the middle. Yeah, they see the princess has been cursed as like an eternal child or something.
Right.
I guess rendering her useless.
Right, because she can't
as
use
a
all her
warrior.
powers.
And then everyone escapes the room. Like the witch kind of confronts Alex, and then everyone's kind of sneaking around behind their backs.
The bench worker, as Alex and the Wicked Witch are arguing, she grabs her and tries to take off with this little girl, gets down the hallway. Not so fast, buddy.
Yeah, again, she's switching the rules of the labyrinth up. Everyone gets separated, and then essentially everyone goes back to that same room.
Right, everybody's back to the same
all been
room.
forced kind of back that direction by the walls.
And Scarecrow is, she's throwing people, the Wicked Witch is throwing people against the wall and
she's
everything.
powerful.
And finally, Scarecrow's like, fuck this. Gets his gun out.
Yeah.
And he's like, and he goes into great detail about explaining the mechanism and how a gun is. To the Wicked Witch of the West, he's like,
I would not do that.
Gunpowder will, and then this and
The projectile, 800 feet per second.
Blah, 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 blah.
You know what I would do? I would say, hey, I'm going to blow your head off with this stuff.
Right.
I'm not going to break it down for you so you maybe can use your magic with your knowledge of what's about to happen. Don't do that.
Don't
surprise her with what's
Come
going
on,
to happen.
Scarecrow. Just like every other hot guy. Just dumb.
Dumb guy. You got Selena immobilized. She put like some daggers into her shoulder, so she's pinned
can't
against the
move.
wall. You got Alex in a standoff, with basically ends with her taking that tornado, right? And she blasts the witch away.
Well, she starts to be in pain, and she's down on one leg and stuff, and nobody understands what's going on. And that's when she finds out that she is going to be the witch
That's right.
that
I
replaces.
did skip over that. Yeah.
So if they kill the Wicked Witch of the West, Alex is then going to take over and will be the Wicked Witch of the West.
And it's not like she just will be. She's now the Witch of the West.
No, it's the Wicked.
Whoever is in the West is wicked, and whoever's in the East is wicked.
Wicked.
Wicked, wicked, wicked.
Wicked, wicked, boom, 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 wicked.
So they blast her away through the labyrinth.
So, again, we got to stress this.
Yeah.
She uses her only way to get out.
Yep.
Slams the vase down. The tornado swoops up the Wicked Witch of the West and sends her away.
Yep.
That's very important. How can you skip that? You just getting tired?
I'm yawning over here. I get it up and I take her down. That's all I do.
Well, I'm trying to keep up with here. Are
we on pace?
We're on pace.
So yeah, she throws her. It is her only way home.
Right.
And she sacrifices that to save everyone else, including herself, in that room from an almost certain demise.
Azuma.
Because she says, you know what? You can't kill me because your friend is going to turn into the Wicked Witch, but I can kill you.
Right.
And so they're like, you know what? Let me just throw this thing on the ground. Blast her back and her hope and his hope and the Scarecrow's hope of getting home.
Right. And then she says, oh, sorry.
Yeah, what are you going to do?
They're sitting on a log, and he snuggles up close to her, and he's like, it's okay, honey.
Yep. After that, they leave the labyrinth and they return back to the underwater city from the Witch of the South, right?
Where the tiger is.
Yeah, they go back to the tiger. And he's just hanging out. He's chained up. It's not like he's walking freely in the city. He's chained up, but he's just not. He doesn't care.
He doesn't give a damn.
And they said, you know what? There's peace for now.
For now.
But of course, the witch isn't dead, and you got the one in the east. You got a lot of lore. You have a lot of backstory and mythology that you can play with. There's a ton of stuff here. So the story goes on.
Droves of stuff to do.
The story goes on, but it doesn't. And that's okay. That's okay. We'll talk about that in a second. But let's first hear a song or a promo for one of my favorite shows on the FCF network.
Everybody will be dancing and we're feeling it right. Everybody.
It can be exciting to start new relationships. The ins and outs of getting to know each other, the inside jokes you create, and the frank and honest conversations about anything and everything. I, Heather, am beginning a new relationship with Heather, a Kaluna shrub that grows in Europe and Asia Minor. She's a wildflower with a roaming spirit and a tough exterior. I thought, what better way to get to know my new shrubbery than to discuss the ins and outs of sex? We'll be taking a look at each other and laughing about how funny scrotums look, peppering it with facts and friendship. Sex with Heather will be coming on Wednesdays, only at fcfnetwork.com.
Boom.
I'm not going to say that because I heard an episode of her show recently where she dogged us for doing that.
Yeah, she thought we were making fun of her. We're not. We're like, think it's cool. I think that's cool.
I love that noise, and she thinks we're dogging. You know what she said? She's like, hey, why don't you guys get a life? You listen to podcasts all day. It's not like I'm sitting on my thumb. I'm doing my dishes. I'm making my bed. I'm taking all my daily stuff. I'm just surrounding myself with the podcast shows that I want to hear, including the great show on FCF Network called Sex with Heather.
Yeah.
But she was dogging me for making fun of it. But that's okay. I still love her.
She's young.
She's young, dumb, and full of podcasts. Minus the dumb. She's not a dumb girl.
No, she's not at all.
Highly intelligent. She speaks intelligently about sex, but she also speaks in a way that you want to listen to. It's not clinical in nature.
It's very conversational.
Absolutely. So check out Sex with Heather, only on the FCF network. Great show. She does some really funny things sometimes. I think it's all off the top of a lot of it's off the top of her head.
Sure. There's not a lot of prep work, but she's kind of good on the fly. Like there's every episode, and her episodes are about 30 minutes long.
Yeah.
There's always an episode where every time there's every time in an episode, I always laugh out loud at least once.
Me too. She, I think in her day-to-day life, she just does general research for herself. She reads up on topics and issues.
Her brain is a sponge right now. She's not old like us and where it's just rotting now.
That's right.
She's young, and she's absorbing information. And she's a free-spirited girl.
All this knowledge that she gains comes back in the form of Sex with Heather. So subscribe to it at iTunes, rate it, tell a friend. A lot of fun.
Groovy.
Please remain seated as we are now crossing a zone of turbulence.
It didn't work. The show didn't work.
No, it didn't.
Why didn't it work?
Well, I'll tell you why. I would think of this. I don't know if this was I'm sorry.
Are you okay?
Turbulence really messes with my mind.
I hold on. Hey,
But I just don't like the turbulence. Every time we watch a show, there's turbulence.
we don't have to have turbulence.
Every time we do one of these shows, there's always turbulence. The world is full of turbulence. My life is full of turbulence.
Yeah. You know, the turbulence portion of the show is just part and parcel of the one-off failed pilots that we've pledged to watch.
I know it's a pain that I must overcome.
Do you want to take a break during this section and I can talk through it and then you can just jump back on when it's time to hear what the critics say?
Yeah, I think I need a minute.
Okay, you take a minute.
I'm sorry.
No, that's fine. I'll talk about why I don't think the show worked. No, don't fall asleep.
No, that was me.
A lot of snot.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. That's slightly unpleasant. There are things I think people expect when they watch The Wizard of Oz. To me, there were a lot of good things about this show. There's a storyline that, for the most part, made sense. There's fantastical aspects of the show. Special effects have come a long way since the original Wizard of Oz. They take a little bit of a backstory. They try to incorporate that into a new version, a sequel of sorts. But
people were probably expecting a fun. The Wizard of Oz is colorful.
It's dancing. It's singing.
dancing. It's singing. And that's not what this was.
This is heavier. This is a little bit heavier.
Yeah.
And like I said, there are darker versions of this, even darker than this, that are out there. Have they fared as well? Nothing has fared as well as the original. I always say, if it ain't broken, don't fix it. You ever watch the Hangover movie?
Yes, the first one.
Did you ever see the second one?
Yes, I did.
It's exactly the same.
Exactly.
It is the same.
You ever seen the third one?
Yeah.
It's exactly the same.
And they said, you know what? America's stupid.
Right.
I'm an American. I'm a stupid guy.
I went to for Hangover 2 and Hangover 3, I went to the midnight showings. I'm a stupid guy. I love those.
Oh, the night of the release?
Uh-huh. Midnight showings.
The first one is pretty good.
Yeah.
Second one, not great. The third one, not great either.
No.
But they're carbon copies of its predecessor because they knew it generated stupid amounts of money.
And that's what they turn them around so fast because it's like, oh, we'll just change the place that they're at.
Yeah,
we'll just play.
What takes so much time getting ready for this next? Writing the script. Oh no, we already have the script. No, that's the script from the first one.
No.
Yeah, I know.
Now they're in Bangkok. See, different.
See where it says Las Vegas and all of them? Yeah, just change that to Bangkok. All right. Second movie's out. I think we can do one more movie. All right, let's do it. Where do you want to do it? Let's do it in Las Vegas. Great. Let's just get the unedited version of the first script. We'll use that. And that's fine. They used a method, and honestly, the amount of money they made is ridiculous. So why not do it? Why not apply that to The Wizard of Oz? Either you take a drastically different turn, or I think you take the method and the formula that works, and you apply it to this new version. Sure. Do I want to see singing and dancing? I think we've seen that doesn't really work in modern times, especially on television. But it could definitely be a lighter fare still, maybe. Maybe it's better suited as a children's show, a live-action children's show.
Probably.
In that case, you probably could put singing and dancing in it still and get away with it. I don't know. Anything else?
No.
Nothing else? Oh, okay. We'll move past it. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Ladies and gentlemen, as we start our descent, please make sure your seat backs and tray tables are in their full upright position.
All right. IMDb score, 6.3. There's a handful of reviews here.
All right, let's...
Give us another chance. 10 out of 10 scars. Andrew Vetterling from the United States. A dude who's into it. Why was this not picked up? I would have loved to have been able to watch Alex make her way through Oz and all of her journeys. Lost in Oz, just the name of the show, someone says. Someone else, Rags to Riches fan from the United States. Lost in Oz is a modern adaptation of the Frank Baum books. Oz needs a new Dorothy Gale to save them from... Okay, so we know what that is.
Yeah, that's a summary of the pilot.
An excellent but unaired show, 8 out of 10 scars. A New Adventure in Oz, 10 out of 10 scars. Help Me, 2 out of 10 scars. Let's read this one. I was wondering if there's a place or a link that someone could send me to post so I can watch this show. It seems to be a missing show that I've been looking for years and about Oz and a girl who helps. So this guy rating it based on his ability to find it?
Right, he can't find it. He's like, man, how can I find this? Oh, I'm going to post a rating on something I haven't seen, and hopefully somebody will tell me how to see it.
I'm looking at that Lost in Oz review, and it doesn't have a scoring system in there. So I don't think it's mandatory if you're rating a show on IMDb that you put in a number. But this guy chose to rate it 2 out of 10
without even
solely on his ability to find it. Way to go.
Loser.
KRDH41-1 from Canada.
In Cincinnati.
Sounds like... Yeah, that's about right. Okay. Let's what some of the people say. What do we have to say?
Let's find out.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to FCF Airport. Local time is 11:11 and the temperature is 69 degrees. For your safety and comfort, please remain seated with your seatbelt fastened until the captains turn off the fasten seatbelt sign.
I'm going to cut to the chase.
Yeah.
You usually ask me my rating first. I'm going to do it. I'm going to
Okay.
give it to you right now.
All right.
First of all, I love Wizard of Oz. Second of all, I even love the movie that was the prequel to Wizard of Oz that, who's the guy that...
James Franco.
James Franco was in, and the girl from that 70s show was the...
Mila Kunis.
Yes. I even enjoyed that one very much, and that was the story before Wizard of Oz. You know what? Don't shake your head like you're... Anyway, I liked both of those. I very much enjoyed this pilot. I did get confused when they were, going through everything. Make it into a made-for-TV movie to start it off with. I sat through an hour and 45 minutes of The Tribe. Give me an hour and 45 minutes of this. Get more detailed about the story, backstory, what foreshadowing and stuff. I liked it. Wicked Witch of the West gets a bump. I'm giving this a 6.
Oh, wow. That's a high rating.
Yes.
Very high rating. Look at you. You seem very pleased with
Yeah,
yourself.
I liked it. It was good. It was really good. Molly and I sat and watched it. She's a big Wizard of Oz fan. She didn't hate it.
I'm glad. What did she give you a score by chance?
No, I didn't ask her. It's none of my business.
You guys know where the lines are in your marriage.
Oh yeah. We're working on her counseling.
I got a question. I was shaking my head pretty profusely because I think it was called Oz the Great and Powerful. Was that the name of the
Yeah.
one? Is the Disney movie? It came out about 4 years ago,
Yeah.
I want to say, with James Franco as the wizard and Mila Kunis, and who I like both of them, and I also like Michelle Williams, who played the Good Witch. But can we agree that the original one was all a dream?
The original Wizard of Oz was all a dream?
Yeah.
No.
It was not all a dream.
No, it really happened in real life. It was basically it's a documentary.
Okay. Hold the phone.
Okay, hold on.
Literally pick up the phone that is in our... Okay, got it?
Yep.
You're telling me that the events of Wizard of Oz, which I thought were she got hurt in a tornado, she was unconscious, and she had this complete fantasy in her mind that we got to see and enjoy. You're telling me not only did that happen in the movie, but it's outside of the movie. It's nonfiction to where it was like close to a documentary.
Yep.
I can't believe that. How do you know that?
I've been to Oz. The lion?
The Cowardly Lion.
I used to be a coward.
And then you got courage?
Courage.
Wow.
Yep. I was the lion.
I had
the courage. I had the courage to watch these. I kind of lost it a little bit with the turbulence, but I watched these shows. I had the courage for our fans to watch these shows. I've been to Oz. I've met the wizard. I love Munchkins. Had sex with 3 of them. Not all of them were women. And I love this trilogy.
Wow. Okay. I have no more questions for you right now anyway. There's a whole...
6.
Yeah, give it a 6.
Wait, hold on. Let's do it the way it should be done. I give this...
Boom.
A 6.
Bow. I give this show a 4. I got it right down the middle.
All right. I respect you.
Yeah.
I love you. I respect you.
I love you and I respect you. It was pretty. It was all right. It held my attention. There were some things about it I didn't care for. There were things about it I did like. I didn't hate this show. It's right down the middle for me. Straight up.
You don't want to give it a 5?
Boy.
The Wicked Witch was hot.
She was pretty good looking. I'm going to hold fast on a 4.
Okay.
This is a 4. And with those 2 ratings, we close the book forever on Lost in Oz. But we aren't done yet. Join us next time when we watch the pilot episode of L.A. Confidential. Here's a little something to wet your whistle. As corruption grows in the 1950s, L.A., 3 policemen, one straight-laced, one brutal, and one sleazy investigate a series of murders with their own brand of justice. You can find the entire episode by subscribing to Couch Pilots in iTunes or your favorite podcast app of choice, and then click on one of our classically blue links in our show notes. Or go to dailymotion.com and search LA Confidential. Here's a take on a movie that existed.
Right, as I say, I remember the movie.
The movie got a lot of acclaim, started the careers of a handful of people in Hollywood, and here is the obvious failed television attempt to
I tell you what,
on
you get a movie that's successful, don't try to make it into a TV show.
Let it lie.
Let it lay there.
I tell you what, the only example that I can think of right now is MASH that was successful as a TV show. And if you think you can duplicate the success of MASH, think again. You better think once more.
Probably think 3 times more.
Yeah. Oh, boy. Check us out online. There's a ton of ways to find us. Go to fcfnetwork.com. Listen to all the shows on our network. Subscribe. Tell a friend. Rate our shows. Leave us a review. Go to couchpilotspodcast@gmail.com. Give us your suggestions, your questions. If there's something about one of the pilots we've talked about that we didn't mention, send us some information. We'll go back and do a kind of an update.
Follow-up, yeah.
Sure, absolutely. Or if you know about a pilot that you'd like us to watch and talk about, we'll do it.
Yep.
But it's got to meet our 3 requirements.
Oh, definitely. You can also check us out on YouTube. Do you have an hour to sit in front of your laptop or your phone to watch us? No, but check it out. Watch a few minutes of it. See what you think. It gives a whole different nuance to the show.
See what our faces look like. Be wildly disappointed.
You think so?
Oh, for sure.
Okay.
Anything else you want to add before we close it out?
No. Frequent flyers, just send us that your information. Send us.
One thing that does not get dusty here in our studio is our pachinko machine. It's the machine that we use to calculate and crunch all the numbers associated with Couch Pilots, including the frequent flyer points.
I had to replace the calibrator the other day.
Mm-hmm. That's how often it's being used.
Yeah, it's the other night. Me and Molly were sleeping, and my Eli's been gone for a week and a half now, so it's been very quiet in here. Mm-hmm. And she heard this.
It's a bomb.
She's like, "What the fuck is that? Is it a bomb?" I'm like, "Baby, you dropped a bomb on me," and then we had sex.
Nice. That's all it takes.
When it was over, it was.
Oh, again.
And she's like, "What is that noise?" So I came down.
Another round of sex.
I came down. No.
Oh, okay.
I can't go 2 rounds. But I came down, and it was just the calibrator.
Okay. Time to be replaced.
Yep.
Yeah. Let us know. Let us know what you think. You'll get some frequent flyer points. You're going to get a surprise prize. You might get a trip here on the plane with us. You might even knock over a bottle of juice. I don't know.
Sipping on gin and juice.
Wow.
Lay back. With my mind on my money and my money on my mind.
Well, this pilot may have been rough, but it's always a smooth flight here on Couch Pilots. Thank you, everyone. We'll see you next time.
It was an inside job.
9/11 still?
On behalf of Couch Pilots and the entire crew, we'd like to thank you for joining us on this trip, and we are looking forward to seeing you on board again in the near future. Have a nice day.
This has been a Fakakta Comedy Funhouse production, produced by Jason Tosher, executive produced by Blake Clayton. For more information and content, go to fcfnetwork.com.